You're tired, aren't you? Tired of holding it all together, tired of gripping so tightly, and still feeling like everything's slipping through your fingers. But what if the problem isn't that you're not doing enough? What if you're just holding on to what was never yours to control? Albert Einstein once said, "A human being is part of a whole, but experiences himself as separate, a kind of optical delusion of consciousness." That illusion is what's exhausting you. The belief that you must manage, fix, and control everything just to feel safe. But here's the truth. Most people never hear. When you stop gripping, life starts flowing. Not because you gave up, but because you finally made space for peace to find you. In this video, we'll explore the hidden power of letting go, what it means to stop controlling and start observing, and why Einstein believed that the greatest intelligence begins in silence. So if your mind feels loud, if your heart feels tired, stay with me, because your freedom might not come from doing more, but from finally letting go. Let me ask you something real. Aren't you tired of trying to control everything? Your plans, your schedule, how people act, how your life should go. You hold on so tight, but it still slips away, doesn't it? You plan every detail, and life still surprises you. You try to say the right thing, and people still misunderstand. You try to feel safe, and somehow, you still don't. But what if the problem isn't that you're not trying hard enough? What if the real problem is that you believe you have to control everything in the first place? What if I told you that you don't need to fix life? You just need to observe it. Really. Control nothing. Just watch. Let life move. Let thoughts come and go. Let people be who they are, because the peace you're looking for, it doesn't live in control. It lives in letting go. And today, I'm going to show you how powerful it is. When you finally stop holding on, you're not in control. And that's why you're exhausted. Let's be real for a second. Most of the stress you feel, it doesn't come from life being hard. It comes from trying to control life all the time. Think about it. You want things to go a certain way. You want people to respond how you expect. You want the day to follow your plan, your pace, your mood. But the moment something falls out of line, you get anxious. You get frustrated. You tighten up. Because deep down, you believe that if you don't stay in control, something bad will happen. You don't call it fear. You call it being on top of things. You call it being responsible. You call it being prepared. But what it really is exhaustion in disguise. Let's walk through a day. You wake up, and your first instinct is to check your phone. See what's waiting, what's urgent, what needs fixing. Then you mentally rehearse your whole day before even getting out of bed. You already feel behind, even though the day hasn't started. You're already bracing for things to go wrong and planning how you'll handle it when they do. You haven't even brushed your teeth yet, but your nervous system is already in fight or flight. Now let's say something small happens. Someone sends a text that feels cold. Your boss changes a deadline. Traffic delays you by 10 minutes. It shouldn't be a big deal, but it hits harder than it should. Why? Because it feels like you're losing control. And here's the deeper truth. It's not about the traffic. It's not about the text. It's not even about the schedule. It's about the constant pressure of having to keep the world together by yourself. That pressure, that feeling like you're holding life in your hands, trying not to drop it, that's what's killing your peace. It makes you overthink. It makes you overreact. It makes you believe that every little thing is your responsibility. But here's the thing. Life doesn't want to be controlled. It wants to be experienced. And you weren't built to manage every detail. You were built to live. Let that sink in. You weren't born to hold your breath all day, hoping nothing goes wrong. You weren't born to micromanage emotions, people, and outcomes. You were born to feel, to observe, to flow with life, not fight it. But because no one taught you how to do that, you ended up thinking that control equals safety. And so now, you spend every day trying to stay ahead, to stay in control, to stay okay. But here's the truth. The more you try to control, the more anxious you become, because control gives you the illusion of safety. But it also keeps you in a constant state of tension. You're always anticipating, always scanning for what might go wrong, always trying to fix what hasn't even happened yet. And your body can't relax. Your mind can't slow down. Your heart can't open. Because somewhere in you, there's this silent belief. If I don't control it, I'll lose everything. But what if that belief is the real thing you need to let go of? What if the truth is, you're already safe, not because you've got it all handled, but because life was never meant to be handled. It was meant to unfold, moment by moment, scene by scene, and your job is not to direct the movie. Your job is to sit back, breathe, and watch it unfold. That's where real peace begins, not in controlling the scene, but in being present for it. It was never your job to control life. It was your job to show up for it, to witness it, to grow through it. Take something simple, like a conversation. Most people don't listen to understand. They listen to respond, to steer, to control the direction. They want the other person to agree, to approve, to act a certain way. And when that doesn't happen, they feel attacked, misunderstood, rejected. But what happens when you stop trying to control the moment and simply observe? You actually hear, you actually connect. You stop rehearsing your reply and start feeling what's real. Now zoom out. That same shift can happen in your entire life. When you stop controlling, you start perceiving. And when you start perceiving, you start learning, healing, aligning. Because real wisdom doesn't shout, it doesn't demand, it emerges in silence. That's the power of observation. It's not passive, it's powerful. It's what allows you to finally see what control had kept hidden from view. Here's a truth most people never hear. Control is about fear. But observation, it's about trust. You try to control when you're scared, of loss, of pain, of the unknown. But when you observe, you're saying, I don't know where this is going, but I'm willing to stay open. I'm willing to feel it. I'm willing to trust that there's something here for me, even if I can't see it yet. That's not weakness. That's courage. Because observing life without needing to change it means you're finally strong enough to be present with it. And being present, fully, honestly, that's where the real change begins. That's where the healing happens. That's where you start seeing clearly what you used to only survive. It's not easy, but it's real. And if you've been tired lately, not just physically tired, but spiritually tired from holding everything together, maybe it's time to loosen your grip. Not on your life, but on the illusion that you were ever in charge of it, because life doesn't need your control. It needs your awareness. And once you give it that, something begins to shift. Quietly, beautifully, and completely. You wake up. Your body's still in bed, but your mind is already racing ahead, thinking about the meeting, the messages, the things you didn't finish yesterday. You reach for your phone, not because you want to, but because your fingers have been trained to do it before your eyes are even open. And before your feet touch the floor, you're already inside a day that hasn't even begun, trying to control it. You're scanning for what might go wrong, predicting people's reactions, mentally adjusting for all the possible outcomes. You haven't even had a sip of water, and you're already exhausted. This is the part no one talks about. We don't realize how early we start fighting the day. We don't realize how deeply we try to control what we simply can't. And then, we wonder why we feel anxious, why we can't breathe, why we feel disconnected, even from ourselves. Fast forward. You're in the middle of the day. Someone says something in a tone that triggers you. You feel the tension rise in your chest. You replay their words in your mind. You try to figure out what they meant. You imagine what you'll say back. You want to fix it. Right now, you want control. But here's the truth. Most of the time, you don't even want the moment. You just want the discomfort to go away. And that's where we miss the magic. That's where we forget how to live. Because we spend our lives trying to get to the next moment, to fix what we feel, to adjust every experience so it's just a little more comfortable. But in doing that, we never actually experience this. 1. So let me ask you, when was the last time you sat through a moment without trying to change it, not trying to label it, not trying to fix it, just observing it? Watching your thoughts like clouds, noticing your breath, noticing the sound of the room, noticing the discomfort in your chest, and just letting it be there, not pushing it away, not controlling it, just seeing it. Because when you do that, something shifts. It's subtle. It's quiet. But it's real. That thing you were afraid of starts to dissolve. Not because it was solved, but because you stopped feeding it. You stopped wrestling with it. You stopped gripping the illusion that this moment needed to be fixed, and that's when it hits you. Peace isn't found in perfect circumstances. Peace is found in your relationship to the moment, and that relationship begins with one simple practice. Let it be. Let people say what they say. Let life happen how it happens. Let your body feel what it feels. Let your thoughts pass through like waves. You don't need to catch everyone. You don't need to respond to every emotion. You don't need to control every variable, because the more you try to hold everything in place, the more you lose your place in the now. Let me tell you a story. There was a time when I believed that if I could just manage everything, my time, my thoughts, my emotions, my health, my productivity, my energy, my relationships, then I'd finally feel at peace. So I did all the things. I made the lists. I tracked the goals. I read the books. I optimized everything. But inside, I still felt restless. Because no matter how efficient I became, life still threw curveballs. Plans still changed. People still misunderstood. And my emotions. They didn't always care about my schedule. And then one day I sat down, completely overwhelmed. And instead of trying to fix it, I did something different. I closed my eyes, and I just observed. I watched the anxiety rise. I watched the thoughts spin. I watched the discomfort settle in my chest. And I didn't try to change it. I didn't judge it. I didn't label it. I didn't force it to leave. I just let it be there. And to my surprise, it passed. Not because I fought it, but because I finally stopped trying to control it. And that's when something clicked. The more I observed, the more I realized, life doesn't need my control. It needs my attention. It needs my awareness, my presence, my willingness to witness the moment without gripping it. That one shift from control to observation changed everything. It changed how I move through conflict. It changed how I sit with discomfort. It changed how I relate to myself, and maybe that's what you need too. Maybe what you've been chasing all this time isn't more control, but more connection. Not more certainty, but more surrender. And it starts right here, with this moment, with this breath, with this willingness to just observe. They try to change how they feel before they even stop to feel it. They try to solve a situation without actually seeing what it is. They jump into control and skip over the clarity that only observation can bring. But here's the truth. You can't change what you're not willing to witness. And you can't grow out of something you keep running away from. Let me show you how this works. You're feeling anxious. Maybe your chest is tight. Your thoughts are racing. You want to get rid of the feeling fast. So your brain does what it always does. It looks for a solution. Why am I feeling this? What can I do to stop it? What if it gets worse? But what if you did something radical? What if you just paused? No trying to fix, no analyzing, no forcing it to go away, just watching it, sitting with it, saying to yourself, I don't need to change this feeling, I just need to feel it. You take a breath. You notice your body. You let the thoughts pass like clouds in a big sky. And something strange happens. The feeling shifts, not because you pushed it away, but because you stopped fueling it with fear. That's the hidden power of observation. It takes you out of the storm and places you in the seat of awareness. From there, you can see everything. And from there, nothing controls you. You realize you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the one watching them. And that's where freedom begins. Because as long as you believe every thought you think, you'll live in reaction. As long as you try to control every emotion, you'll stay tense, tired, and disconnected. But when you observe, you rise above. Not in a cold, detached way, not as an escape, but as a return to something wiser inside you. Something that's always been watching, quietly, patiently, waiting for you to stop trying and start listening. Here's what no one tells you. Observation is not passive. It's not weakness. It's the most powerful thing you can do when everything feels like too much. Because when you observe, you stop being consumed. You stop being ruled by fear, urgency, and the need to fix everything. You stop tightening. You soften, you see. And that clarity, that groundedness, gives you your power back. Not the power to control life, but the power to live it without losing yourself in it. So here's what I want you to try today. The next time you feel overwhelmed, don't run, don't scroll, don't react. Pause. Close your eyes. Put your hand on your chest and just notice. Notice what's happening inside you. Name it if you want. Tension, fear, sadness. But don't try to fix it. Just be with it. Because when you're with it, it changes. When you stop judging it, it softens. And when you stop controlling it, you finally create space for healing to begin. That's not magic. That's presence. That's what your soul has been waiting for. Not another strategy. Not another hack. Not another plan to control what happens next. Just a moment of truth. A breath of awareness. A chance to remember, you are not here to force life. You are here to feel it, to witness it, to let it move through you without resistance. Because life is not asking you to fix it. It's asking you to be awake for it. And observation is how you wake up. Let's make this real. Because awareness is powerful, but awareness with practice, that's transformation. So here's a simple challenge. 7 days, one small shift a day. Not to control your life, but to surrender to it. I call it 7 days of surrender. And it starts with one moment. One decision to stop reacting and start observing. You don't need a journal. You don't need a timer. All you need is your breath, your willingness, and a few minutes a day to try something different. Day 1. Notice your first reaction. When something irritates you today, a message, a delay, a tone of voice, pause before you respond. Just observe your first internal reaction. Don't push it away. Don't justify it. Just notice it. Say silently, "Ah, there you are. That's it. Today is about catching the pattern before it runs the show." Day 2. Let one thing be uncontrolled. Choose one moment you'd normally try to fix, and don't. Don't explain. Don't defend. Don't organize it better. Let the email wait. Let the room stay messy. Let the silence be awkward. Breathe. Let life be a little wild today, and notice what rises in you when you do. Day 3. Be with the discomfort. When something uncomfortable shows up, a feeling, a thought, a tightness in your body, don't scroll. Don't distract. Don't solve. Sit with it. Close your eyes. Breathe into it like you're holding a child. Not to make it go away, but to let it be. Because what we hold with presence begins to soften. Day 4. Surrender a conversation. Today, talk less. Listen more. Let someone speak without jumping in to guide, correct, or offer advice. Notice your urge to control the conversation, to be understood, to be right, and gently let it go. Let the moment unfold. Let the silence stretch. Let yourself receive instead of shape. Day 5. Let go of the outcome. Pick one thing you care about, a project, a goal, a decision. And today, for just this moment, let go of needing to know how it ends. Don't chase the result. Don't imagine what could go wrong. Just do what's in front of you, with full attention, and trust the rest. Because surrender doesn't mean inaction. It means releasing your grip on the outcome. Day 6. Walk without a goal. Go for a walk, but don't track it. Don't count steps. Don't make a phone call. Don't listen to anything. Just walk. Notice the world again. Notice your breath. Notice how fast your mind wants to fill the space, and let it empty. Let this walk be for nothing, and feel how freeing that is. Day 7. Reflect on what letting go gave you. At the end of today, sit for 5 minutes. Close your eyes. Place your hand on your chest, and ask yourself, what changed in me when I stopped trying to control? Let the answer come from somewhere deeper than thought. Maybe it's a feeling. Maybe it's just a sigh. Maybe it's stillness. That's enough, because surrender isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It simply arrives. And when it does, you'll recognize it. By how light you feel. By how quiet your mind becomes. By how deeply your body says, "This is what I've been waiting for." If you can give yourself this week, not to achieve, but to release, not to win, but to witness, you might find something you've been chasing for years, and it was never out there. It was always inside you, waiting for the noise to stop. So now, you've made it to the end. And maybe something inside you feels quieter. Not because the world changed, but because you stopped trying to hold it so tightly. This is what surrender feels like. It's not defeat. It's not giving up. It's coming back to yourself, the part of you that was never meant to control everything, just to witness it. And the more you observe, the more you realize you were never broken. You were just tired from trying to hold things together that were never yours to carry. So maybe now, you let go. Not all at once, not forever, just in this breath. Let go of the pressure. Let go of the fight. Let go of the belief that control makes you safe. You don't need to know what's next. You don't need to fix this moment. You just need to be here, fully, quietly, as the one who observes. And if this message brought you peace, brought you back to your breath, then I invite you to stay. Not because I need a subscriber, but because if this helped you, then maybe this space can keep helping you return. Return to clarity. Return to presence. Return to the version of you that doesn't chase, but watches. Share this with someone who's been gripping too hard, someone who's tired of being strong all the time, someone who needs permission to pause and comment. Below, what's one thing in your life you're ready to stop controlling? Let this be your first act of surrender. Not a performance, not a fix, just a soft step toward peace. Because the moment you stop controlling, you start receiving, and life, in all its mystery, starts to flow again.